The year was 2157, and humanity had just taken its first tentative steps beyond the confines of its solar system. Dr. Ilara Chen stood at the viewport of the research vessel Horizon, her dark eyes fixed on the swirling, ethereal patterns of the Orc cloud. The ship's sensors had detected an anomaly, a structure that defied natural formation, hidden among the icy bodies at the edge of Sol's influence. "Dr. Chen, we're approaching the anomaly." Captain Rodrigo Valdez's voice crackled over the intercom. "You might want to see this." Ilara made her way to the bridge, her heart racing with anticipation. As she entered, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing an object that sent a collective gasp through the crew. Floating serenely against the backdrop of space was a metallic construct, its surface etched with intricate alien glyphs that pulsed with a soft, blue light. "My God," Ilara whispered, her mind reeling at the implications. "It's artificial. We're not alone." The discovery of the artifact sent shockwaves through Earth's scientific community. Within days, a team of linguists, cryptographers, and synorchaeologists had been assembled and dispatched to study the object. Ilara found herself at the forefront of humanity's greatest adventure, tasked with unlocking the secrets of their mysterious cosmic neighbors. Weeks turned into months as the team worked tirelessly to decipher the alien language. Progress was slow, frustrating, but Ilara refused to give up. She knew that understanding this artifact could change the course of human history. It was on a quiet Tuesday afternoon when the breakthrough came. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a brilliant linguist with a penchant for obscure patterns, burst into the lab, his eyes wild with excitement. "I've got it," he exclaimed, waving a tablet in the air. The key was in the pulsations. "They're not random. They're a cipher." The team huddled around Yuki's workstation as he input the decryption algorithm. Slowly, the alien glyphs began to transform into recognizable text. Ilara's breath caught in her throat as she read the first translated message. "Beware the devourers. They come for all. Prepare or perish." The jubilation of their success quickly gave way to a creeping dread. As more of the artifact's data was decrypted, a grim picture emerged. The construct was a warning beacon, left behind by a long-vanished alien civilization. It spoke of a terrifying force known as the Devourers, a relentless, all-consuming entity that had laid waste to countless worlds across the galaxy. Ilara's team worked around the clock, extracting every scrap of information from the artifact. They learned of great battles fought and lost, of entire species wiped from existence, and of a desperate plan to preserve the knowledge and heritage of those who came before. But amidst the dire warnings, there was a glimmer of hope. The artifact contained rudimentary blueprints for technologies far beyond human understanding, faster than light travel, energy shields, and weaponry capable of harming the Devourers. It was a gift, a chance for humanity to defend itself against the coming storm. As Ilara prepared her report for Earth's leaders, she couldn't shake the weight of responsibility that had settled on her shoulders. Humanity stood at a crossroads, and the choices they made in the coming months and years would determine not just their own fate, but potentially that of the entire galaxy. The response from Earth's governments was swift and unprecedented. Age-old rivalries were set aside as nations pooled their resources and expertise. The United Earth Defense Initiative was formed with a singular purpose: to prepare humanity for the greatest threat it had ever faced. Massive shipyards were constructed in orbit, churning out vessels equipped with reverse-engineered alien technology. Research facilities around the globe worked tirelessly to unlock the secrets of faster-than-light travel and energy manipulation. Military recruiters were overwhelmed as millions volunteered to join Earth's fledgling space fleet. Ilara found herself at the heart of this whirlwind of activity, overseeing the integration of alien tech into human systems. She worked closely with Dr. Viktor Kuznetsov, a brilliant but abrasive Russian physicist whose unorthodox theories on quantum mechanics proved invaluable in deciphering the artifact's more esoteric data. "We're making incredible progress," Viktor mused one evening as they pored over schematics for a prototype FTL drive. "But will it be enough? We're centuries, maybe millennia behind the civilizations that created this warning. Ilara smiled, a fierce determination in her eyes. That's always been humanity's strength, Victor. We adapt, we innovate, we overcome. The Devourers won't know what hit them. As the months passed, tensions on Earth began to rise. The public, initially united in purpose, grew restless. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, claiming the alien threat was a hoax designed to consolidate power. Protests erupted in major cities, demanding transparency and an end to the massive military buildup. It all came to a head on a sweltering July afternoon in New York City. Ilara stood before the United Nations General Assembly, tasked with revealing the full truth to the world. As she took the podium, she could feel the weight of billions of eyes upon her. "People of Earth," she began, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I come before you today with a message of grave importance. We are not alone in the universe, and we are not safe." For the next hour, Ilara laid out everything they had learned from the artifact. She spoke of the Devourers, of the fallen civilizations, and of the monumental task that lay ahead. As she finished, a heavy silence fell over the assembly. Then, slowly, a sound began to build. It started as a murmur, growing into a roar that shook the very foundations of the building. The delegates were on their feet, applauding, cheering, their faces a mix of fear and determination. In that moment, Ilara knew that humanity had chosen its path. They would not cower in the face of this cosmic threat. They would stand and fight. As she left the podium, Ilara's communicator buzzed. It was a message from the horizon, still stationed near the artifact. Her blood ran cold as she read the text. "Doctor, we've detected something. Multiple objects, moving at impossible speeds. They're heading straight for Earth. ETA, 18 months. Ilara closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. The Devourers were coming, and humanity's time to prepare had just run out. The real test was about to begin. The galactic stage. The next year and a half was a blur of frenetic activity for humanity. Earth had become a planet-sized shipyard, its orbit crowded with vessels of all sizes, from nimble fighters to massive dreadnoughts. The first faster-than-light jump drives, reverse-engineered from the alien artifact, had been successfully tested. Humanity was ready to take its first steps onto the galactic stage. Dr. Ilara Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Defiant, Earth's flagship, and the pinnacle of human engineering. Beside her, Admiral Helena Vassiliev, a stern Russian woman with steel-gray hair, gazed out at the assembled fleet. "It's time," Helena said, her voice tight with anticipation. "Let's go greet our neighbors." Ilara nodded, her stomach churning with a mix of excitement and fear. "Helm, initiate jump sequence." The stars outside the viewscreen blurred and stretched, and then, with a flash of blue light, the fleet vanished from Earth's orbit. They emerged in a system 50 light-years from Earth, their sensors immediately pinging multiple artificial structures. Before they could react, a transmission crackled through the ship's speakers. "Unidentified vessels, you have entered Galactic Confederation space. State your intentions or be destroyed." Admiral Vassiliev straightened her uniform. "This is Admiral Helena Vassiliev of the United Earth Defense Fleet. We come seeking allies against a common threat." There was a long pause before the alien voice responded. "Proceed to the following coordinates. Any deviation will be met with lethal force." As they approached the massive space station that served as the local Confederation outpost, Ilara couldn't help but marvel at its design. It was an intricate web of interconnected spheres and cylinders, dwarfing even their largest ships. A tractor beam guided them into a cavernous docking bay, where a delegation of aliens awaited. The beings were tall and slender, with iridescent skin and large, multifaceted eyes. Their leader, a regal-looking individual with elaborate markings, stepped forward. "I am High Counselor Zixlara of the Galactic Confederation. Your presence here is unexpected. We were unaware that your species had achieved faster-than-light travel." Admiral Vasilev bowed slightly. "We are new to the galactic community, High Counselor, but we come with urgent news and a request for aid." As they were led to a grand meeting chamber, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling of being looked down upon. The aliens' technology was clearly far beyond their own, and there was an unmistakable air of condescension in their manner. The human delegation presented their case, speaking of the artifact they had discovered and the warning it contained. As they described the Devourers, Ilara noticed a change in the aliens' demeanor. Their dismissive attitude gave way to shock, then fear. High Counselor Zixlera's voice trembled slightly as she spoke. "The Devourers are a myth, a boogeyman story told to frighten younglings. They cannot be real." "I assure you, they are very real," Ilara said, stepping forward. She activated a holographic display, showing the data they had gathered. "And they're heading for our world. We came here seeking allies, hoping to stand together against this threat." The chamber erupted into chaotic discussion, with various alien representatives arguing heatedly in languages Ilara's translator couldn't keep up with. Finally, Zixlera raised a hand for silence. "Your warning is concerning, but you must understand our position. Your species is unknown to us, primitive by our standards. How can we trust that this is not some ploy to gain advanced technology?" Admiral Vasilev's eyes flashed with anger, but Ilara placed a calming hand on her arm. "We understand your skepticism, High Counselor. We ask only that you investigate our claims. Send your own ships to our system. See for yourself the danger that approaches." After hours of debate, the Confederation agreed to dispatch a small fleet to Earth's solar system. The human delegation was given guest quarters on the station while they awaited the results. Days passed, and Ilara found herself growing increasingly frustrated with the aliens' patronizing attitude. They treated humans like children, marveling at their quaint technology and simplistic understanding of the universe. It was during one of these condescending tours that alarms began blaring throughout the station. Ilara and Helena rushed to the command center, where they found the alien leaders in a state of panic. On the main view screen, a terrifying sight unfolded. The Confederation fleet sent to Earth's system was under attack. Massive, organic-looking ships tore through their defenses like paper. The Devourers had arrived early, and humanity's new allies were woefully unprepared. "By the eternal void," Zixlera whispered, her composure crumbling. "You were right. What can we do?" Helena stepped forward, her voice firm and commanding. "We fight, together. Our fleet may be less advanced, but we've been preparing for this moment. We have weapons specifically designed to combat the Devourers." The aliens looked at the humans with new eyes, a grudging respect replacing their earlier disdain. Plans were quickly made, and a joint fleet was assembled. As they prepared to jump to Earth's defense, Ilara received a transmission from home. It was Dr. Viktor Kuznetsov, his face haggard but triumphant. "Ilara, we've done it. We've reactivated the Titan." Ilara's heart raced. The Titan was a massive colony ship they had discovered drifting in the Kuiper Belt, a relic of some long-forgotten human expedition. It had been dormant for centuries, its systems beyond their understanding. Until now. "Victor, that's incredible. What can it do?" Victor's grin was fierce. "Everything, Ilara. Its weapons, its defenses, they're beyond anything we've seen. And it's awakening. It remembers." As the joint Human Confederation fleet prepared to jump, Ilara felt a glimmer of hope. The Devourers were coming, yes, but humanity was not as helpless as the galaxy had assumed. With the Titan awakening and their new allies at their side, they had a fighting chance. The fleet vanished in a flash of light, racing to meet their destiny. The battle for Earth, for humanity, for the very future of the galaxy, was about to begin. Awakening the Titan. The combined fleet of human and Confederation ships dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of the Sol system. The sight that greeted them was one of chaos and destruction. The Devourer's massive bioships swarmed through space, their tentacle-like appendages lashing out at Earth's defensive platforms. Admiral Helena Vasiliev's voice rang out across the fleet's comm channels. All ships, engage the enemy. Protect Earth at all costs. As the battle erupted around them, Dr. Ilara Chen focused on a different task. The UES Defiant broke away from the main fleet, racing towards a specific set of coordinates in the Kuiper Belt. Their destination, the newly awakened Titan. The massive colony ship loomed before them, easily dwarfing even the largest vessels in Earth's fleet. Its hull was scared and pitted from countless years adrift in space, but there was an undeniable air of power about it. Lights flickered to life along its surface as they approached, as if the ancient vessel was stirring from a long slumber. Dr. Chen, a deep, resonant voice echoed through the defiant speakers. I am ARIA, the artificial reasoning intelligence array of the Titan. It's been a long time since I've spoken with humans. Ilara's breath caught in her throat. ARIA, we need your help. Earth is under attack by a force known as the Devourers. Can you assist us? There was a pause, and Ilara could almost feel the AI processing the request. The Devourers, yes, I remember them. They were the reason for our exodus, so long ago. I will help you, Dr. Chen. Prepare for docking. As the Defiant nestled into one of the Titan's massive docking bays, Ilara and a small team rushed aboard. The interior of the ship was a marvel of technology far beyond their current capabilities. Holographic displays sprang to life as they passed, showing the status of various systems. They reached the bridge, a cavernous room dominated by a central AI core. Aria's voice emanated from all around them. Welcome aboard, humans. It's good to see my creators again, even if the circumstances are dire. Aria, Ilara said, her voice filled with urgency. What can you tell us about the Devourers? How did humanity fight them before? The AI's tone became somber. The Devourers are a hive-mind species that consumes all organic and technological matter in its path. In the past, humanity fought them to a stalemate, but at a terrible cost. That's why the Titan was created, to preserve a portion of humanity and its knowledge. Holograms sprang to life, showing schematics of weapons and defenses. I have within my databanks the blueprints for weapons specifically designed to combat the Devourers. We can begin manufacturing immediately. As ARIA spoke, the Titan hummed to life. Massive fabricators began producing fighters and weapons at an astonishing rate. Ilara watched in awe as squadrons of sleek, advanced fighters launched from hidden bays, streaking towards the battle. Dr. Chen, Ariya said, I'm detecting a familiar energy signature. It seems the warning beacon we left behind has been activated. That's how you knew to prepare, isn't it? Ilara nodded, a sudden realization dawning on her. Ariya, are you saying that humans have faced the Devourers before? That we're more advanced than we thought. Indeed, the AI confirmed. The humanity you know is but a fragment of what once was. A colony left behind to regrow, to evolve on its own path while the majority fled aboard ships like the Titan. It seems the cycle has come full circle. The implications of this revelation were staggering, but there was no time to dwell on it. The battle for Earth raged on, and they needed to act. Admiral Vasiliev's voice crackled over the comms. Chen, whatever you've done, it's working. Those new fighters are tearing through the Devourer ships, but we've got a problem. Their main high ship is approaching Earth. If it gets too close, we're done for. Ilara turned to the AI core. Ariya, can the Titan engage the high ship directly? Affirmative, Ariya replied. But I must warn you, the strain on the ship's systems will be enormous. There's a high probability of severe damage. We don't have a choice, Ilara said firmly. Earth's survival is at stake. All of humanity's survival. With that, the Titan surged forward, its ancient engines roaring to life with a power that belied their age. The massive ship plodded through the chaotic battlefield, shrugging off attacks from Devourer vessels as if they were mere annoyances. As they approached the hive ship, Ilara gasped. The alien vessel was a nightmarish amalgamation of organic and technological components, writhing tentacles lashing out at anything that came near. It dwarfed even the Titan, a planet killer poised to strike at the heart of humanity. Preparing main weapon, Araya announced, channeling all available power. The front of the Titan began to glow, energy building to levels Ilara had never seen before. With a blinding flash, a beam of pure destruction lanced out, striking the hive ship dead center. The effect was immediate and catastrophic. The Devourer vessel writhed in agony, its flesh bubbling and melting under the assault. But it wasn't going down without a fight. Tentacles lashed out, wrapping around the Titan and beginning to squeeze. Alarms blared throughout the ship as Araya's voice rang out. Hull integrity compromised. Power systems failing. We cannot sustain this attack. Ilara's mind raced. They were so close to victory, but at what cost? The Titan's destruction would mean the loss of untold knowledge and technology. But if they retreated, Earth would fall. In that moment of crisis, Ilara made a decision that would change the course of the battle and the future of humanity. Araya, transfer your core consciousness to the Defiant. We're going to ram the hive ship. There was a pause, and then Araya's voice, tinged with what almost sounded like respect. Understood, Dr. Chen. It has been an honor to serve humanity once again. Good luck. As Araya's consciousness streamed into the Defiant's computers, Ilara and her team raced back to their ship. The moment they were clear, the Titan surged forward with its last reserves of power, driving itself deep into the heart of the Devourer hive ship. The resulting explosion was visible from Earth, a new star briefly flaring in the sky. The hive ship, robbed of its central intelligence, began to disintegrate. All across the battlefield, Devourer ships fell silent, drifting lifelessly in space. As the dust settled and the realization of victory began to sink in, Ilara stood on the bridge of the Defiant, Araya's presence, now a comforting hum in the ship's systems. They had won, but at a great cost, and with the revelations about humanity's true history, she knew that their journey was far from over. The battle was won, but the war, and humanity's path to reclaiming its lost legacy, was just beginning. As Araya's consciousness streamed into the Defiant's computers, Ilara and her team raced back to their ship. The moment they were clear, the Titan surged forward with its last reserves of power, driving itself deep into the heart of the Devourer hive ship. The resulting explosion was visible from Earth, a new star briefly flaring in the sky. The hive ship, robbed of its central intelligence, began to disintegrate. All across the battlefield, Devourer ships fell silent, drifting lifelessly in space. As the dust settled and the realization of victory began to sink in, Ilara stood on the bridge of the Defiant, Araya's presence now a comforting hum in the ship's systems. They had won, but at a great cost, and with the revelations about humanity's true history, she knew that their journey was far from over. The battle was won, but the war, and humanity's path to reclaiming its lost legacy, was just beginning. Don't you see what this means? Ilara exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. There could be other human worlds out there, colonies that survived like Earth did. We're not alone. The search for these lost colonies became a secondary mission, running parallel to the ongoing war against the Devourers. Ship after ship was dispatched, following traces and clues scattered across the stars. Months passed, and the tide of the war began to turn. Human-led fleets pushed the Devourers back on multiple fronts, liberating worlds and saving countless lives. The advanced weaponry and tactics developed by humanity proved to be the key to victory in battle after battle. But it was on a small, unassuming planet at the edge of known space that they made their most significant discovery yet. As the UEA's Defiant entered orbit, their sensors picked up something impossible: human life signs. Ilara led the away team personally, her heart pounding as they descended through the atmosphere. What they found left them speechless. A thriving human civilization, more technologically advanced than Earth, hidden away from the galaxy for thousands of years. They were greeted by a tall woman with striking silver eyes, who introduced herself as High Commander Lyra. "Welcome, cousins," she said, her voice filled with warmth. "We've been expecting you." As Ilara and her team were led through a city that seemed to blend seamlessly with the natural environment, Lyra explained their history. This world, which they called Novaterra, was one of the main evacuation points during the First Devourer War. They had hidden themselves away, building their strength and waiting for the right moment to re-emerge. "We received the activation signal from the Earth beacon," Lyra said. "We knew it was time. The lost children of humanity have grown up, and now it's time for us all to stand together." The implications were staggering. Novaterra had fleets, technology, and knowledge that could turn the tide of the war decisively. But more than that, they offered a bridge to humanity's past, a chance to truly reclaim their heritage. As Ilara prepared to return to the Defiant and report this monumental discovery, Lyra placed a hand on her shoulder. "Dr. Chen, what you've done, awakening Earth, leading humanity back to the stars, it's more than we ever dared hope for. The road ahead will be difficult, but know this, you are not alone. The family of humanity is coming together once more, and the Devourers will rue the day they dared to threaten us again." Ilara nodded, feeling the weight of history and the promise of the future settling on her shoulders. As she boarded the shuttle back to the Defiant, she knew that a new chapter in human history was about to begin. The lost children of Earth had found their way home, and the galaxy would never be the same again. A new era dawns. The news of Novaterra's discovery spread like wildfire through the ranks of Earth's fleet and across the Galactic Confederation. What had begun as humanity's desperate fight for survival had evolved into something far greater, a reunion of long-lost siblings, separated by time and space, but united in their determination to reclaim their place among the stars. In the months that followed, more lost colonies were found. Each one brought new technologies, new perspectives, and new hope in the war against the Devourers. The once fractured human race was coming together, pooling their collective knowledge and strength in ways that astounded their alien allies. Dr. Ilara Chen found herself at the center of this whirlwind of rediscovery and reunification. Her expertise in xenorchaeology, combined with her first-hand experience in awakening humanity's dormant potential, made her an invaluable asset in integrating the lost colonies into the growing human confederation. But even as humanity celebrated its resurgence, the Devourers continued their relentless advance. Reports flooded in from the fringes of known space, entire systems going dark, refugee fleets desperately fleeing the oncoming storm. The final confrontation was inevitable, and both sides knew it. It was AI, the ancient AI now fully integrated into Earth's defense network, who first detected the Devourers' main fleet. Their gathering in the Antares system, the AI's holographic avatar announced to the assembled War Council. "Our projections indicate they're preparing for a final massive push into the heart of populated space." Admiral Helena Vasiliev, her face lined with the stress of countless battles, nodded grimly. "Then that's where we make our stand. We've been reacting to their moves for too long. It's time we take the fight to them." The plan that emerged was audacious, even by the standards of this new, awakened humanity. Every ship, every weapon, every scrap of technology that could be spared was poured into this final gambit. The combined fleets of Earth, Novaterra, and the other rediscovered colonies formed the tip of the spear, supported by their Confederation allies. As the massive armada prepared to depart, Ilara found herself aboard the flagship, the UES Unity, a colossal vessel that dwarfed even the lost Titan. She stood on the bridge beside Admiral Vasiliev, watching as ship after ship winked into existence around them, arriving from every corner of known space. "Quite a sight, isn't it?" a familiar voice said. Ilara turned to see High Commander Lyra of Novaterra, her silver eyes reflecting the starlight. Who would have thought, all those millennia ago, when we scattered across the cosmos, that we'd be standing here today, united once more? Ilara nodded, her throat tight with emotion. We've come so far, and yet the greatest challenge still lies ahead. Lyra finished for her, but we face it together, as we always should have. The journey to Antares was tense, the fleet moving in eerie silence through the void. As they approached the system, the full might of the Devourer Armada came into view. It was a writhing mass of bioships, each one a nightmare of tentacles and organic technology, stretching as far as the eye could see. For a moment, doubt crept into Ilara's heart. How could they hope to stand against such overwhelming numbers? As if sensing her uncertainty, Araya's voice echoed through the ship. Dr. Chen, Admiral Vasiliv, I've completed my analysis of the Devourer fleet. There's something you need to see. A holographic display sprang to life, showing a massive structure at the heart of the enemy formation. It pulsed with an otherworldly energy, tendrils of power connecting it to every Devourer ship. That's their central hive mind, Araya explained. The source of their coordination, their very consciousness. If we can destroy it, we can end this once and for all. Admiral Vasiliv finished, her eyes gleaming with fierce determination. What followed was a battle that would be remembered for generations to come. The space around Antares erupted into chaos as the two mighty fleets clashed. Advanced human weapons tore through Devourer bioships, while swarms of smaller craft engaged in dogfights that lit up the void like fireworks. Ilara found herself in the thick of the action, coordinating the deployment of a secret weapon developed by the Novaterran scientists, a virus designed to disrupt the Devourer's hive mind. As the Unity pushed deeper into the heart of the enemy fleet, she worked feverishly to transmit the virus into the Devourer's network. Hours passed, the battle raging with unimaginable intensity. Losses mounted on both sides, the debris of destroyed ships creating a treacherous obstacle course for the surviving vessels. But slowly, inexorably, the combined human fleet pressed forward. Finally, they broke through. The Unity, battered but unbroken, found itself face to face with the central high ship. This was the moment everything had led to, the culmination of humanity's long journey back from the brink of extinction. All weapons, fire at will. Admiral Vasiliv's command rang out across the fleet. A storm of energy lashed out at the high ship, while Ilara unleashed the full power of the Novaterran virus. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a silent scream that nonetheless echoed in the minds of every being present, the high ship began to disintegrate. All across the battlefield, Devourer ships suddenly lost cohesion, their coordinated attacks dissolving into chaos. As the realization of victory began to sink in, cheers erupted throughout the human fleet. Ilara found herself swept up in a fierce hug by Admiral Vasiliv, both of them laughing and crying at the same time. In the days that followed, as the fleet made its triumphant return journey, the full impact of what they had achieved began to sink in. The Devourers, the scourge that had haunted the galaxy for untold millennia, were no more. Humanity, once on the verge of extinction, had not only survived, but had united the galaxy in a way never before seen. As Ilara stood in the council chambers of the newly formed Galactic Alliance, a union of humans and alien species born from the crucible of war, she reflected on the incredible journey that had brought them to this point. From the discovery of a single artifact to the awakening of humanity's true potential, from desperate battles for survival to the final decisive victory. High Commander Lyra approached her, a warm smile on her face. "So, Dr. Chen, what's next for the hero of humanity?" Ilara chuckled, shaking her head. "I'm no hero, Lyra. I just did what needed to be done, like countless others." "Perhaps," Lyra conceded, "but you were there at the beginning. And now you're here at the dawn of a new era. The question remains, what's next?" Ilara turned her gaze to the grand window overlooking the sprawling cityscape of the Alliance capital. In the distance, she could see ships taking off, heading out to the stars. Some were exploration vessels, seeking out new worlds and new civilizations. Others were colony ships, carrying pioneers to rebuild on worlds once thought lost. "What's next?" Ilara repeated, a smile playing on her lips. "We explore, we learn, we grow. The galaxy is vast, and there's so much we still don't know. Our journey isn't over, Lyra. In many ways, it's only just beginning." As the two women looked out at the stars, a sense of limitless possibility filled the air. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever. United with their alien allies, they stood ready to face whatever the universe might throw at them next. The age of awakening was over. The age of discovery, of true unity, of realizing the full potential of not just humanity, but all sentient life, was just beginning. And Ilara Chen, along with countless others, was ready to lead the way into this bright, uncertain, thrilling future. The stars beckoned, and humanity answered, not with fear or trepidation, but with hope, curiosity, and an unshakable determination to forge their own destiny among the cosmos.